You ever get that feeling deep in your gut, like someone's petty little power trip is about to spectacularly blow up in their face? That's exactly what I felt the morning I decided that my mailbox, yes, my poor, humble, rural mailbox, was going to be the last casualty in this ridiculous turf war. See, I live on 30 dry, stubborn acres of Texas land, right at the edge of a place called Cotton Ridge Country Estates. Don't let the fancy name fool you. It's more mesquite brush and dust devils than country clubs and fountains. But because some developers slapped the word estates on the end, we got saddled with a full-blown HOA. And not just any HOA. We got Milton Craig. Milton's the kind of man who peaked in middle management, retired early, and decided to spend his golden years playing tin pot sheriff for the suburbs. He drives a sun-faded tan F-150 he dubbed the Community Patrol Unit, complete with flashing amber lights and cheap magnetic stickers slapped on both doors. Everyone else just calls it what it really is, Craig's Punishment Unit. And for some reason, that man had it out for my mailbox. It wasn't ugly, wasn't falling apart. It just belonged to me, and I didn't kiss the HOA ring. I didn't go to his pancake breakfast fundraisers. I once told him I thought wind chime regulations were stupid. That was all it took, and soon the games began. The first time I walked out to check my mail and found the box bent at a weird angle, the door hanging loose, flag snapped clean off. Figured maybe a delivery truck clipped it. Annoying, sure, but accidents happen. A week later, the entire thing was leveled, posted all, crushed flat with tire tracks in the ditch leading right over it. No mistaking it now. Somebody aimed for it. So I replaced it with a sturdier steel box, set in concrete, just to be safe. 9 days later, it was shredded again, this time with a faint smear of beige paint on the edge. Milton's truck was the exact same color. I wanted to believe it wasn't him, but deep down, I already knew. So I did what any stubborn, formerly polite man does when he's been pushed too far. I started documenting, took photos, logged dates, measured tire tracks. I even set up a cheap wildlife cam across the road, meant for raccoons, not petty HOA warfare. But it caught enough. 2 weeks later, bingo. Blurry footage of Milton's truck drifting suspiciously close to where my mailbox used to stand. You couldn't see the impact, but it was enough. He veered. He didn't stop. And it was the same time my third mailbox mysteriously died. I confronted him at the next HOA board meeting. He was busy scolding some poor woman about her flower pots not being regulation beige. I walked right up and held up my phone. "Milton, we need to talk about my mailbox." He smirked, didn't even flinch. "That just looks like a truck driving by." "Your truck." Same time my box vanished. He shrugged, puffed out his chest like a prize rooster. "Well, maybe if your mailbox wasn't practically in the road, it wouldn't keep getting hit." Then he said it, the word that lit the fuse. Flimsy. Now listen, I've spent most of my life fixing busted machinery, welding metal gates, building things that last. And this man, this walking policy violation, had the nerve to call my work flimsy? That was it. That night, I sat down with a beer and a drafting pad, reviewed every line of USPS and HOA code. Turns out mailboxes need to be accessible and well-maintained. Nowhere does it say they can't be indestructible. The rules about breakaway posts, just suggestions. So I got to work. I designed what I proudly called the Sentinel. A 6-inch steel well casing sunk 4 feet into the earth and buried under a literal ton of concrete. On top, a reinforced steel box with interior ribs, double-welded seams, and a half-inch thick steel flag that wasn't snapping off anytime soon. Painted matte black, legal, compliant, and damn near indestructible. As I was installing it, my neighbor Jack, retired trucker, local grumbler, walked by. He took one look and said, "Son, that ain't a mailbox. That's a declaration of war." He wasn't wrong. For 10 glorious days, nothing happened. Milton drove by a few times, slowed down, probably sizing it up. But then on a Tuesday morning, while I was weeding near the end of the driveway, aka lying in wait, I saw him coming. Same truck, same slow crawl, clipboard in hand, then the swerve. Wham! It wasn't a crunch. It was a metallic clang, like someone rear-ending a battleship. His F-150's front bumper crumpled, hood steamed, airbag went off like a cannon. And the Sentinel? Not a scratch. I walked over real calm-like, phone in hand, filming. "You okay, Milton?" I asked, full of concern. "Looks like you ran into my mailbox." He looked like a man trying to divide by zero. Face red, chest heaving. "That thing is a weapon!" he shouted. I nodded slowly. "No, sir. That mailbox is 100% USPS compliant. Same spot as the last three, the ones that got mysteriously destroyed." By now, neighbors were gathering. Jack was grinning like a raccoon with a pie. Milton called the sheriff. Deputy Monroe showed up, took some measurements, reviewed the footage. After 5 minutes of listening to Milton rant, he turned to him and said, "Sir, this appears to be a single-vehicle accident, and the object you struck is a legal mailbox." Then he handed Milton the ticket, right there, reckless driving, in front of half the neighborhood. But I wasn't finished. I mailed a packet to every HOA board member. Photos, footage, timeline, even a letter from my cousin, the lawyer. I made it real clear. Try to retaliate, and I'll take it to court. Milton tried to spin it. Claimed I'd set a trap. Community sabotage, he said. The board wasn't buying it. Turns out I wasn't the only one tired of his games. They stripped him of his community patrol title. HOA refused to pay for the truck damage. At the next election, Milton didn't even run. Word is he sold the truck quietly. No one's seen those amber lights since. My mailbox? Still standing. The mail lady gives it a respectful little pat every time she drops something off. Some folks even slow down to take pictures. But it was never just about the mailbox. It was about standing up, quietly, stubbornly, to the kind of man who thinks the rules don't apply to him. It was about showing the whole neighborhood that sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's steel reinforced. So, tell me, what's the pettiest HOA rule or power trip you've ever had to face? Or better yet, have you ever engineered your way out of a nuisance? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one of them. And if you like this tale of mailbox justice, go on and hit that subscribe button. More HOA chaos is coming, and it only gets wilder from here.